In this video, I'm going to share with you how to create an action sheet which slides up from the bottom and has three buttons: Send Now button, Delete button, and Cancel button. When user taps on each of these buttons, we will handle that action, and Cancel button works, it simply dismisses the panel. And to create this action sheet, I will go to my Swift developer blog and I will switch to code examples section, because I do have a ready-to-use code example for this action sheet, and I will search for UI alert. And I have a UI alert controller here and a few examples how to work with UI alert controller, and action sheet is actually part of them. So if I open action sheet, I can scroll down a little bit, and here's the source code I can use. I will click on this plus button, which will open a new window with the source code. I'll copy it as is, then go to my Xcode and paste it here, and I will walk you through the source code. So we simply create a UI view controller, and that UI view controller has a view will appear function, and inside this view will appear we define a new alert controller which works as action sheet. So the difference between alert controller, which pops up with the dialog message like a simple alert, and action sheet is just this preferred style. If you change that one to alert, action sheet will work different. It will simply present itself in the middle of the screen like an alert. Let's, for example, run it and have a quick look how this will look if we change preferred style. Here we go. It is in the middle of the screen and it still has these three options. But if we change it to action sheet and run this example now, it will slide from the bottom up, and then we'll have these three buttons which look a little bit different. Okay, and to create these three buttons for our alert controller, we use UI alert action. So we have three of them: one for send button, another action for delete button, and another action for cancel button. Each UI alert action has a title, send now, and style. The send now button is a default style, that's why it looks as a simple button. And the delete button is red, and this is because it has a style destructive. So if you put a dot, you have an option to select from default or destructive or other styles. And the last one, cancel button, is just the same UI alert action with the title and the style, but this time it is a cancel style. That's why that cancel button looks a little bit different. And you've noticed that each UI alert action has a handler. Each one of them has a handler here, which is a block of code that will trigger when user taps on the button. For example, if we wanted to do something when send button is tapped, we will put it inside of this handler, and then that code will run when user taps on the button. So once we have declared all of these action buttons that we wanted, we will then add them to alert controller simply by calling add and passing on the button we've created: send button, delete button, and cancel button. And finally, we will present this view controller to user by running self navigation controller present view controller animated true to have that animation. And I did not provide anything for completion. Again, we could have provided a block of code that will run once this view controller is presented. So if I run this source code now, I should see an action sheet working. And when I click on any of these buttons, for example, if I click on delete forever button, I get delete button tapped printed in my console output because this handler was triggered. And this is it, and I hope this video was helpful for you. Please do visit my Swift Developer blog. Code examples page gets updated every single day with new short code examples. And if you want to receive video tutorials as soon as they get published, please subscribe on my website, either when this panel pops up, or I have a little subscription form here, and it will send you a link to a video tutorial, free video tutorial, as soon as it gets published.